Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Today I'm taking a look at a new game from Button Shy Games here in their Simply Solo line. This is Fishing Lessons here from Scott Almes. In this one, you are going to be trying to, well, catch the right fish by recalling the right lessons. That all translates to a programming/memory game in which you are going to be playing cards down in front of you and then triggering that sequence, and you can sort of mess with that sequence as you play new cards, moving above the water, flipping cards face up or face down in order to, again, get the right fish. Let me go ahead and show you how that works. To set up the game, we're going to shuffle up the 7 lake cards, and we'll put those out here in a row face down. Then we're going to pick a family member to represent us here. We have 3 cards, which are double-sided. You can pick anybody you want to, so I'm going to pick Zoe here. And you put that card in the middle here. They give you a little story about Zoe remembering fishing, but the important stuff is right here at the bottom, okay? So that is your goal. Those are the types of fish you need to have face up in the lake for you to win the game. And then we take the third and final kind of card, these lesson cards. We're going to shuffle them up, and we're going to draw 3 of these, all right? So the way this works is we are going to be playing these cards out to a programming row, more or less, and then activating everything on it in order to move around, flip over some cards, and try to get the right combination facing up. Any card face up that does not contribute to this kind of fish or this kind of fish, and you'll see what they look like, then must be face down. Again, if the card doesn't contribute, it must not be showing. So let's go ahead and take a look. I've got here these 3 cards. I am going to do this one. I'm going to play that. So I'll go ahead and play that. Then I follow these steps from the top to the bottom again. And if there were multiple cards, which you'll see in a second, then I do them all from left to right. So this one says I can flip either the card underneath and the one to the right, or underneath and to the left. I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And I'm going to flip this one. That's good. I've got 2 of these that I can use. The ones with the S are the silver carp. I can use that. And then, based on the difficulty at which I'm playing, I check if I'm winning or not winning, okay? Then I draw a card, and I do it again. My options for playing a card are as follows. I can play a card in front, behind, or in between any cards that are there, or I could replace a card that is there. I can fully cover one. Other than that, I cannot rearrange things, okay? And the difficulty, like I said, is going to denote when you win. So, for example, and this is all right here in the rule book, if you're playing easy difficulty, then you check after activating each lesson card. You check if you win. If you currently win right now, boom, you have won the whole game. If you play medium difficulty, you only check after you resolve all the cards. So there is no interim check if you're currently winning in between multiple cards. And then if you're playing hard difficulty, you only check after activating and resolving all lesson cards on the last turn when the deck is over. So you must be winning at that point. Incredibly difficult, okay? So easy, medium is already pretty tough. That difficult category is insane. So there we go. Next turn for me then, perhaps I'll do something like this. I will play this one in front. And I forgot to resolve the second half of this. I'm sorry. I'll just move 1, okay? Then I play this in front, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to move 1 or 2. I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I either flip this one or this one. I'll go ahead and flip this one. That's good. And then I do that. I'm going to go ahead and do these 2. So I have to flip this one and this one, unfortunately. And I know that this one's going to help me out. So there is a little bit of memory in this game. I know that there's a silver carp here, so an S. I'm going to want that one back. And then I move 1 or 3. I'm going to go ahead and move 3. 1, 2, 3 over here. Then I draw a new lesson, and I do it again, all right? Maybe I want to put one of these in between these. You kind of have to look at the whole line here and figure out what's going to happen. So again, programming, seeing these things in your head, that's going to be a big help as you try to figure it all out. So yeah, I think that's enough for you to understand what's going on. Again, what I'm trying to do for this character specifically is have 3 S's face up and 2 of these T cards. This has a T, this has an S. Both of those are good. This card right here needs to be face down for me to win. It does not contribute to either thing I require. All right? You manage to do that before the deck runs out, you win. If the deck runs out and you don't have that, then of course you've lost. And like I said, the difficulty decides where you check if you are currently winning. There you go. That is Fishing Lessons. So go ahead and go back up top. I'm always, to a certain degree, fascinated by wallet games, these button-shy games. I think that there's just, again, always something there that makes me go, how do you pull something like this off with 18 cards, manage to make so many different games, you know? It's a neat idea, and this one does a lot of things very well. So thematically, I really enjoy it. I think it's got the right amount of personality. It's got a little humor, a little warmth in it. It manages to do what it does very well. That theme, sort of, if you read the flavor text and invest yourself in it, does come through. And I like that. The ideas and mechanisms that it uses are distinct and interesting. It's not the kind of thing I see in a lot of solitaire games. It has some memory, yes, but it's largely a programming game with having to have the right thing face up at the right time, moving above the water, all of that. That's really neat. The difficulty levels or scaling are clever. It's an interesting way to do difficulty. When you check if you're winning is the difference. And that's pretty clever. I like that. I myself did not enjoy the game that much because I'm not a huge fan of memory and I'm not a huge fan of programming. And not to say I disliked it. And I think this is one that a lot of people, especially if they want a little bit of a brain burner, and this is a little bit of a brain burner, are going to enjoy. I enjoy this one. I think it's a game that I will continue to enjoy on occasion. And I will probably default to playing pretty easy, on easy mode, because even medium seems tough to me. I might be because I have a hard time visualizing 4 cards worth of moves. You know, that could be it. Even if I've already seen some cards and they got flipped back down, then I have to recall that information, you know. So I suppose you could, if you wanted to, not make this a memory game. Mark a card if you've already seen it. Like put a little token next to it so that you know you've already seen it, and you can, if you want to, you can just peek at it and put it back face down. That would remove the memory aspect, which some people might want that option, you know. But again, while I appreciate and I actually think this is a very clever design that stands out among these solo games, and this is, you know, one of those simply solo designs, I did not like this one as much as the other recent Scott Almes design for the same publisher, Unsurmountable. Unsurmountable, I thought, was a little more traditional in its mechanisms. It was a card laying, sort of tile laying connection game. But I found it to be more enjoyable. It's more, not dynamic, because I think, again, this is more dynamic, but it was more pleasurable for me. This one I found a little grindy. It stressed me out a little bit, being, you know, thinking, oh, I think this programming isn't going to work out. Hold on, everything stops while I puzzle this out. And it's weird because the theme would make you think this is the most soothing of games, but I found it to be a little bit stressful. Having said all that, I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this one, and it's a well-done game. No fault of the game. I just think for me, I'm not a huge fan of programming. I have a hard time with it, and it does seem to me like even though the theme is very well done, it should be a relaxing game, and this one doesn't feel super relaxing. So, and there's that memory, all of that. So, sounds like I'm going to come down on it a lot. I'm not. I'm actually giving this game a 6. I think it's solid. I enjoy it. I'm going to hang on to it. I think this is one I'm going to play infrequently. But I very much like other games from the company more, from the designer more. I just mentioned one, Unsurmountable, I think is great. And this one is going to be maybe a really good gift. It would be a really good gift for someone who enjoys fishing, who likes solo games. You know, there's something kind of nostalgic feeling about this little package, and I appreciate that. So there you go. That is a 6 out of 10, folks, for me. My name is Z Garcia. I'll see you on the next one.